Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, good. See, I'm sharing my screen, guys. Let me know once it is visible. Everyone, please turn your cameras on, everybody. Can everyone see my screen, guys?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we have started our discussion on exception handling, and for exception handling, guys, I have created the separate repository. Sorry, separate. Shlok, are you there? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So, are you able to admit all of them?
Yes.
Okay, so admit them. Okay, so I won't look at that thing. So, admit everybody.
Yes.
Okay, see, to write the code related to exception handling, I have created a separate package. And what is that package name, guys? Okay, very sorry. So what we have discussed in the last session. In the last session, I have told you guys what is an exception. What is an exception? So simple. Exception could be the abnormal termination of your program during program execution, right? And there could be the reason, any reason, and obviously, guys, exceptions are there which we can handle, and we need to handle them. And handling means what? We are handling the exception the way we are finding an alternative solution. And how are we finding an alternative solution, guys? I've shown you that, right? So inside the try block, we write the code which is suspicious, and inside catch block, we write the alternative code. And finally is the block in which we write the code, and that code will always execute whether the exception arises or not. I'm sharing my screen here. Can everybody see this diagram, guys? Can everyone see this
Yes, sir.
diagram?
Yes, sir. Sir.
Is it readable, guys? Or okay, I'll tell you. This is throwable actually. Throwable is the parent. Actually, okay, this is throwable. Throwable is the parent, guys, which is having two childs. कोणते कोणते दोन childs आहेत? Exception and the error. Error is something, guys, that we are not capable to handle. Okay, so there could be a different reason to get the error. Let's say the out of memory error or machine virtual machine error, this kind of error that we are getting. But these errors will not be able to handle, guys. But exceptions, always remember, guys, there are two types of exceptions we are having. Here I am going to write the code for it. So the first type is what? Checked exception. Who will tell me what is the checked exception, guys? Everyone, please respond.
Compile time exception.
करत नाही ना कोणी रिमूव्ह वगैरे? Tell me. Hello.
No, sir.
Okay,
No, sir. No.
good. So here there are two types of exceptions, guys. एक असतो compile time exception, त्यालाच म्हणतात checked exception. आणि दुसरा असतो runtime exception. Runtime exception आणि त्यालाच काय म्हणतो आपण? त्यालाच unchecked exception म्हणतात. Okay, I'll tell you the easiest way. Don't worry at all. Compile time exception काय असतो आणि runtime exception काय असतो. Now we are going to discuss this important interview question, and later I will tell you about throw and throws. And today only we'll see, guys, how can we create our own exception. throw and throws keyword we are going to learn today. But before that, we are going to learn about compile time exception and unchecked exception. That is the runtime exception. Okay. Observe very carefully now. As usual, I am going to create a main method here because I need it, because my program execution will start from main method, right? And here, what am I doing, guys? I'll do simply one thing. Actually, you might not know this thing, but I'll tell you in simple way. Compile time exception ओळखायचं खूप खूप easy आहे actually. तुम्ही असा कोड लिहिता काहीतरी, that code will intimate there only. Means the code compiler will intimate that this code might throw an exception. I'm repeating again. Javaचा compiler काय सांगतो? If you are opening, if you are writing some code, if you are writing some code to open a file, what will happen, guys, if you try to write a code which will open a file? So JVM knows this particular code. He is not sure that will open a file in everybody's machine. Am I right, guys? Suppose me जर code लिहिला, write a code to open a file which is inside a D drive and test file test.txt open करायचं code लिहिला मी. Is it guarantee, guys, that in everybody's machine there would be a D drive? Tell me, is there any guarantee? काही गॅरंटी आहे का की सगळ्यांच्या मशीन मध्ये डी ड्राईव्ह मध्ये टेक्स्ट.txt नावाचा फोल्डर असणार आहे? There is no guarantee, correct? So that's why. So whenever you will write any code, guys, which is related to open a file, immediately it will throw an exception there itself. Let's say in same, if you know about, if you know or don't know about this concept, I'm not sure, guys. But if I'll try to execute this line of code, thread.sleep for 1 second, and here this line does not have an issue, guys. But he line काय सांगते मला? This line is telling me, this JVM is telling me at compile time itself, this line might throw an exception, so you need to handle it. I'm repeating again. हो काय सांगतोय? ही लाईन काय सांगतेय की this line might throw an exception. कोणता exception throw करू शकतो तो? Uninterrupted exception. So there are two ways: either handle the exception or define with the signature. Define the exception at the signature level. But here, how do we handle the exception, guys? How do we handle the exception? Tell me. Just see. Simply, this is the way we handle the exception, guys. Any suspicious code which might throw an exception, that kind of code we keep inside where? Tell me, guys, respond. Unmute yourself and respond. Where do you keep such code? We keep such code inside try block. आणि हा जो इंटरप्टेड एक्सेप्शन होता ना गाइस, हे बघा मी आता याला ओपन कसं करणार आहे, याच्यावरती कंट्रोल प्रेस करायचं आणि क्लिक करायचं, अँड पॅरेंट ऑफ दिस पर्टिक्युलर क्लास इज अन एक्सेप्शन, आणि हा असणार आहे तुमचा चेक्ड एक्सेप्शनचा टाइप. आणि इनसाइड दिस डायग्राम समवेअर यू विल सी दिस इंटरप्टेड एक्सेप्शन एज वेल. इंटरप्टेड एक्सेप्शन कम्स अंडर चेक्ड एक्सेप्शन. चेक्ड एक्सेप्शन कसं ओळखायचं? मोस्ट इझिएस्ट टेक्निक दॅट आय टोल्ड यू. तुम्ही जर तो कोड लिहिला ना, तो तिथंच ऍट कंपाईल टाइम ओनली इट विल लेट यू नो. कंपाईल टाइम ओनली इट विल लेट यू नो दॅट यू हॅव टू हँडल दॅट एक्सेप्शन. अशा खूप साऱ्या लाईन्स असतील, जेव्हा तुम्ही तो कोड लिहिणार आहे ना, तुम्हाला एक्सेप्शन तिथेच हँडल करायला लागणार आहे. कंपाईल टाइम एक्सेप्शन बद्दल समजलं तुम्हाला? एक आयडिया आली? Let's say this line might throw an exception to me, so this JVM or the compiler is telling me here only that handle this exception. Then how will you handle this exception? That we know. We handle the exception surrounded by try and catch block. Understand this, guys? Everyone, tell me. So
Yes, sir.
हाँ, आता हे suppose the runtime exception असतं. For example, yesterday we had seen code, guys, for the arithmetic exception. Yesterday I had seen code for arithmetic exception and input mismatch exception. So those kind of exceptions, guys, are the type of runtime exception. Just see, arithmetic exception, null pointer exception, and अजून एक. How do you identify, guys, that type of exception? That thing is again very easy, guys. Let's say ज्याचा पण parent exception असतो ना, runtime exception, arithmetic exception लिहिलं मी. Just observe very carefully. ज्याचा पण parent runtime exception असेल, ज्या पण एक्सेप्शनचा, that is the runtime exception. That comes under runtime exception. तो compile time लाच असा issue देणार आहे का, error देणार आहे का guys at the time of compilation only? Tell me. At the time of compilation only, will it give you any kind of error, guys? Tell me.
No, sir.
Everyone, please respond.
Oh,
At the time of compilation only, it won't give you any kind of error. So when it is not giving you any error, guys, runtime ला जर exception आलं तर we have to handle it. And for runtime example we have seen yesterday, and arithmetic example is the good example of this thing. आणि इथे जे जे तुम्हाला दिसतं ना डायग्राम मध्ये, null pointer exception is the most favorite example, most famous example actually, that you guys will see later. Obviously you guys are going to see it. If on null object, if you try to perform certain operation, you will get a null pointer exception there. आतापर्यंत फक्त आहे ना एवढंच अंडरस्टँड करायचं ट्राय करा की कंपाईल टाइम एक्सेप्शन काय असतं. त्याला चेक्ड एक्सेप्शन म्हणतात, पण कंपाईल टाइम एक्सेप्शन इज द एक्सेप्शन. At compile time itself, it will intimate you guys, it will give you the intimation that this particular line might throw an exception. But in case of runtime exception, guys, at the time of executing your code, it might arises. Correct? Tell me, guys. Everyone, did you understand this?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, guys, we are going to see an interesting code. We are going to create our own. We are going to create our own code. Own code in the sense, we are going to create our own exception. जसा हा interrupted exception है, जसा हा arithmetic exception है, in the same way we are going to create our own exception, guys. And let's see how do we create our own exception. So I'm creating my Java class, so that thing is called as a custom exception. So during an interview you will get this question as well, guys. If you are a fresher, can we create our own exception? Can we create our own exception? This question that you might get. So refactor, rename, there is one extra E added here. Okay, and here I will do one thing, guys. I will do one thing. Let's say two friends visited a hotel, okay, or any restaurant, okay. Here, Lakshya, main method I am writing here. And how do we write the main method, guys? Public static void main array apps, okay. And here system.out.println, let's say welcome to let's say ABC or any, okay. And here let's say two friends visited this hotel and they wants to order the food, ordering food. Okay, and they, let's say they ordered, okay, they ordered, let's say two thalis. Will not make it complex, but simply here there is an method, guys, public void is the method. Pay bill method काय करणार है? Pay bill method will let you know how much amount you need to pay, and you need to pay that amount, guys. Okay, and system.out.println, let's say, okay. And to call this method, guys, what do we need to do? To call this method, we need to create an object of this class, custom exception equal to new custom exception. And here custom exception dot pay bill is the method. And here let's say you got the bill, guys. Okay, here I will make the integer return type. I'll make it interesting, guys. Listen very carefully. Let me write the code first. I'm just thinking on it, and later I'll explain you in detail. की आपण काय नेमकं इथं काय होतंय, I will explain you guys. Okay. So I'm trying to generate a scenario here where we should be able to create our own exception, and that exception I will use here. Okay. I'm trying to create a problem here, which we'll try to resolve by creating our own exception type. Okay. Okay. Let's say there are two friends. Friend 1 equal to, for example, string सक्षम कडे आहेत 2000 रुपये. Okay. And there is one more, Pranav. Pranav is also having 2000 rupees. Okay, try to understand this. Let me just write it first of all. They both are having 2000 rupees, guys. Why am I writing in string? Integer.
सर मेन मेथडच्या आत आहे ना स्ट्रिंगच्या नंतर ते ब्रॅकेट असतात बघा ते राहिलेत ते मिसिंग आहेत.
अच्छा हाँ हे होय. Okay, good observation. So this is mandatory, guys, if you want to call the main method. Okay, so the first integer Saksham is having 2000 rupees. Let's say Pranav is having 2000 rupees. They both went to the ABC hotel. They ordered some food, and now it's time to pay the bill. Okay, so who is gonna pay the bill, guys? Saksham and Pranav. And they will ask first of all, what is the bill? Okay, so first of all they might ask the bill amount, guys. Okay, so they went to pay the bill, and here it said that they will able to find out the exact bill amount. Let's say integer bill amount is equal to something 560. Okay, let's say bill amount is 560, and they both are having 2000 rupees note. Okay, so who is going to pay here? Tell me. Saksham, कोणाला पे करायचं? तुला पे करायचं की प्रणवला? Tell me, who wants to pay the bill?
I'll pay.
नाही तर भांडण करत बसेल इथं की तू पे कर मी नाही करणार. Don't fight. Here you have to pay only 560. But any one of you must pay, guys, here. Okay, and let's say Pranav is paying 2000 rupees here. So Pranav is paying 2000, so Saksham will become happy here. Saksham will be happy because he's got his 2000 rupees as it is. And here he is paying 2000 rupees because he does not have change, guys. What is the issue, guys? He does not have change. Are you guys getting this, everyone? So this is the problem statement here, because he does not have change. So the amount he is passing 2000 here, and bill amount is 560. So what that restaurant people will do, restaurant will amount minus their bill, they will deduct, guys, and the remaining amount that they are going to return. Okay, are you guys getting this? I could have hold this value in variable as well, and I could have returned it, but amount मधनं 560 रिटर्न करायचे आणि इथं देऊन टाकायचे. ठीक आहे, integer remaining amount. What would be the remaining amount here, guys? System.out.println remaining amount after paying bill. काय असणार आहे remaining amount after paying bill? So I have written this code, guys, and now try to understand. लक्ष द्या, they both went to the hotel and for having dinner, lunch, anything, and to pay the bill they don't have the change. त्यांच्याकडे चेंज आहे का? नो, बिकॉज दे गॉट लॉट ऑफ मनी, गाईज. त्यांच्याकडे फक्त 2000 ची नोट असते त्यांच्याकडे, चिल्लर ते दोघं ठेवत नाही. ठीक आहे, and they went to hotel, and when it comes to pay the bill, त्यांचं एक भांडणं झालेलं आहे छोटंसं की तू पे कर. and later Saksham is ready to pay. Saksham म्हणला ठीक आहे मी पे करतो, next time तू पे कर. ठीक आहे. So Pranav is happy here and he is ready to pay the bill. But here, what the restaurant people are doing, they are deducting this amount and giving him back. Then what would be the remaining amount, guys? This is the happy scenario. Happy scenario means what? यांच्याकडे चेंज नाहीये पण हॉटेलवाल्यांकडे चेंज आहे इथे. ठीक आहे. So that's why hotel people are giving them the remaining amount. Okay, and consider this scenario, guys. Except this cash, they don't have anything. Okay, don't consider की Paytm mobile काढेल हे ते तेवढं डोकं नका लावू, because here we are learning the custom exception. So तसं ते काही करू शकतात. They will have number of options and number of options, guys. But here, after paying the bill, they will get the amount, guys, 1440. आता लक्ष द्या, this was the happy scenario. He does not have change, but there is one more twist is here, guys. These people also don't have change. Hotel people also don't have change. करणार गाइस, यांच्याकडे पण चेंज नाही, यांच्याकडे पण चेंज नाही. काय करतील हे दोघं, प्रणव आणि सक्षम? अगेन हियर हॅपी सिनेरियो मध्ये पण वेगवेगळे ऑप्शन्स असतील. इन वर्स्ट केस सिनेरियो ऑल्सो दे विल हॅव टू फेस some difficulties here. But here, what will happen, guys? So whenever he is trying to pay an amount, guys, let's say if the amount that they are paying, amount equal to 2000 exact, means what will happen, guys? We will throw an exception here. Hospital people are throwing an exception. Throw कसं exception कसं throw करतात? By using throw keyword. Throw new आणि नवीन exception name. So what is that new exception name? Change not available exception. What is the name of that exception, guys? Change not available exception. And this exception, guys, created by us. And if you want to create your own exception, there are certain rules you need to follow. What are those rules? I will quickly tell you. If you want to create your own exception, guys, हा क्लास तुम्ही इथे पण क्रिएट करू शकता. असा राईट क्लिक न्यू क्लास, बट मी इथेच क्रिएट करते सेम फाइल. क्रिएट अ न्यू क्लास एक्सेप्शन नेम, बट देर इज वन कंडिशन, गाइस. या एक्सेप्शनला ना पॅरेंट क्लास बनवा, याला बनवा, नाही तर रन टाइम एक्सेप्शनला बनलं तर तुमचा रन टाइम एक्सेप्शन बनेल डायरेक्ट. बट आय वुड प्रेफर दिस वन. व्हाट हॅपन्ड हियर? इफ यू वांट टू क्रिएट युअर ओन एक्सेप्शन, ऑब्झर्व व्हेरी केअरफुली, गाइस. आतापर्यंत जे पाहिलं आपण तो इट वॉज अ सिंपल कोड. बट नाउ इफ यू वॉन्ट टू क्रिएट युअर ओन एक्सेप्शन, आपल्याला एक क्लास क्रिएट करायला लागतो. हा तो क्लास आहे. आणि त्या क्लासला कसं बनवायचं? पॅरेंट फक्त एक्सेप्शन बनवायचा. पॅरेंट एक्सेप्शन बनवल्याने काय होणार आहे? ऑल दिस प्लीज म्यूट स्पीकिंग. ओके, आता इथे काय होणार आहे? या एक्सेप्शन क्लास मध्ये जेवढे काही प्रॉपर्टी, एक्सेप्शन क्लास मध्ये जेवढे काही प्रॉपर्टीज, by default those properties will be accessible to whom? Respond, guys, tell me, everyone. By default those properties would be accessible to whom?
Child class.
Yes, and who is the child class here? Who is the child class here, guys? Tell me.
Exception.
Change not available exception.
Yes, this is the child class. हा child आहे का? काय सांगता राव? This is the exception, this is the child class, this is the parent class. आपण कसं आपलं स्वतःचं एक्सेप्शन क्रिएट करतोय. जसं अरिथमेटिक एक्सेप्शन होतं ना, लक्ष द्या परत. जसं इथं एक्सेप्शन आहे, जसं इथं अरिथमेटिक एक्सेप्शन आहे, फॉर एक्झाम्पल इंटरप्टेड एक्सेप्शन आहे. In the same way, we are creating our own exception here, and that exception we are creating based on this scenario. These two friends went to hotel, guys, and while paying the amount, they don't have a change, and whenever they are trying to pay the bill, these hotel people also don't have the change. And let's say 2000 ची नोट पाहिली की लगेच ते काय म्हणतात, they are throwing an exception. And what is that exception? See, instead of breaking, guys, 2000 ची नोट नाहीये म्हणजे सपोज 2000 ची नोट आहे तुमच्याकडे, आणि हॉटेलवाले ते ऍक्सेप्ट नाही करत आहेत बिकॉज दे डोंट हॅव चेंज. मग तुम्ही डायरेक्ट तो लास्ट पर्याय आहे का तुमच्यासाठी गाईज? नो. You will find an alternative option. You will call somebody. You will go here and there. You will try to get the change. There could be n number of options guys that you can try. असं होणार आहे का 2000ची नोटच आहे आणि चालेल सगळे ऑप्शन संपले आता तुम्ही तिथेच बसणार आहेत? That won't happen. So here same like that we are going to create our own exception. What is the name of that exception? While creating your own exception guys, we have to create a class as a child of java.lang.exception class, because this exception class belongs to this package. So we create a class which belongs to java.lang.package. आणि लक्ष द्या इथं काय म्हणतोय तो लगेच. So this particular line might throw an exception. This is the checked exception that we are creating. जर मला हे चेक्ड एक्सेप्शन नसतं बनवायचं तर मी काय केलं असतं, याला रन टाइम एक्सेप्शन पॅरेंट बनवला असता. तर हे रन टाइम एक्सेप्शन बनलं असतं आणि कंपायलरने सांगितलंच नसतं की ही लाईन एक्सेप्शन देऊ शकते. नो. बट इथे मी फक्त एक्सेप्शन लिहिलं की कंपायलर काय म्हणतोय, दिस इज चेक्ड एक्सेप्शन. चेक्ड एक्सेप्शन आहे तर काय करायला लागेल तुम्हाला, यू नीड टू हँडल दॅट एक्सेप्शन. अँड हाऊ डू वी हँडल द एक्सेप्शन? वी नीड टू कीप दिस पर्टिक्युलर throw call inside the try and catch block, which I will put guys here. And here what am I doing? If I will try to execute this code guys, now observe very carefully. This amount that I should have taken from user, but ठीक आहे user कडनं पण घेतले असते, otherwise इथे चेंज करू शकतो आपण directly. And observe very carefully guys, here we are getting an exception. What is the name of exception guys? Change not available exception. But along with this exception, if you want to send a message guys, काहीतरी मेसेज द्यायचा युजरला, then how will you give that message? To give that message guys, I will create a constructor, and this constructor through super function I'm calling the constructor guys, please keep change, please always keep change. And I'm executing this code again. आणि 2000चीच नोट पाठवतोय आपण, परत देतोय, ट्राय करतोय. And here you guys will able to see, here it will handle the exception but it will not break the entire code. याच्यानंतर जर काही कोड असतं ना, here can you see our own message? तर त्यांनी जसं फॉर एक्झाम्पल इफ देर इज एनी काइंड ऑफ एक्सेप्शन गाईज, जावाचे लोक जेव्हा कोड लिहितात while creating arithmetic exception, while creating input mismatch exception, they create by using same technique. आपण तसं आपलं स्वतःचं एक्सेप्शन बनवलंय, change not available exception. And here we are giving the message as well. What is that message? Please always keep change and change. And here for example, let's say here there is my important code as well, system.out.println, important code also will execute. And let's say प्लीज ऑलवेज कीप चेंज कधी म्हणणार आहे तो, जेव्हा तुम्ही 2000ची नोट घेऊन येत आहे तेव्हा. लेट्स से इफ यू आर गिविंग देम 1000 रुपीज नोट, लेट्स से सक्षम इज पेइंग, ओके इथे 2000च लिहिलेलं का, सक्षमचं नाव घ्यायला पाहिजे होतं. ओके, इफ सक्षम इज पेइंग गाईज 1000 rupees, in that case he will not get any exception. So like this you can create any kind of exception guys. इथे फक्त तुमच्या क्लासचं नाव द्यायचंय, मेसेज द्यायचा असेल तर असं द्यायचा. and just see remaining amount he is paying 1000 rupees guys, remaining amount he is getting, remaining amount 440 that he has got, important code also he got. And just see if he'll try to pay 2000 rupees guys, then what is going to happen? Just see if he'll try to pay 2000 rupees, then it is going to throw an exception. Observe very carefully now. Isn't it interesting guys? It's खूप easy actually to create your own exception class. In fact, where is my important code guys? Where is my important code? Yeah, important code should be in the catch or finally guys, either catch or finally, then only it is going to execute. Otherwise ह्या कारण आपण if ब्लॉक मध्ये होतो ना, याला else मध्ये जर लिहिला मी बाकीचा कोड else, तर तो एक्झिक्यूट होईल ऍक्च्युली. नो नीड टू वरी अबाउट इट, इट जस्ट नॉर्मल कोडिंग लॉजिक. एल्स कारण इफ आहे ना 2000 लिहिला आपण, अच्छा पण हे पण एक्झिक्यूट होणार आहे. आय एम सॉरी गाईज, लेट मी जस्ट चेक why is this important code did not execute. Can you guys see somewhere the important code execution? Okay, here we got an exception and it has handled here, but why it jumped to the out of this code? Let me just check, guys. Try catch. It will throw an exception at this line. Cursor will jump here and again throwing an exception, guys. That's why. Okay, here simply I'll give a message. Catch below. असं लिहितो फक्त मी catch below. कारण तिथं पण थ्रो केलेलं ना परत एक्सेप्शन. That's why, guys. Okay, आता लक्ष द्या. तिथं परत एक्सेप्शन थ्रो केलेलं which we did not handle. That's why important code execute नव्हता झालेला. But now my important code also will execute and just see. Okay, just see. 2000 दिलेत तरी पण important code कसा execute झाला. Why did not get an exception? Because याला प्रिंट नाही केला होता. ठीक आहे, आपण ते प्रिंट करू. Don't worry at all. Catch block and here we'll give e dot get message. Get message मध्ये कोणता मेसेज येणार आहे गाइस? जो मेसेज आपण दिला इथं. जस्ट प्लीज ऑलवेज कीप चेंज असा मेसेज येईल आणि तो एकदा सांगन की प्लीज ऑलवेज कीप चेंज and remaining code also got executed because we let it execute, right? But here we could have thrown an exception as well, guys, which we had thrown and I had shown you as well. आपण exception throw करू शकतो, but इथं exception throw केलं which handled it here आणि हे आपणच एक्झिक्यूट केलं म्हणून कोड एक्झिक्यूट होतोय. जर सपोज 2000च असतील आणि आपल्याला एक्झिक्यूटच नसेल करायचं तर दॅट थिंग ऑल्सो वी कॅन डू. दिस कोड वी शुड राईट हिअर इनसाइड द. हा जो कोड आहे ना, हा अमाऊंट वगैरे जो कॅल्क्युलेशन करतोय तो कोड आपण इथेच लिहू ट्राय मध्ये, सो दॅट आफ्टर गेटिंग एन एक्सेप्शन this particular lines of code won't be executed. Understanding it, guys? Suppose you don't want to handle this exception, let's say, because we have created this. Which kind of exception we have created, guys? Checked exception. Kasa checked exception? Because we did not make this class parent as a runtime. Ha simple exception ठेवलाय. This is the checked exception. If you don't want to handle the exception, if you just want to declare the exception, just see. The moment I'll click here, इथे काय ऍड होते बघा, throws and that exception name. It means we are not handling the exception. This method will take care because we have just declared it and we are telling them that we will not get any kind of exception. Okay, throws keyword काय करतो? What does the throws keyword do here, guys? Who will tell me? There is a simple
It
use case.
declares the exception.
It throws is just used to declare the exception, guys. Let me just charge my laptop. Now can you guys tell me, can we create a type of exception? आपण आपलं स्वतःचं exception create करू शकतो का? Can you guys
Oh.
tell me, can we create our own
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, and how do we create our own exception? To create our own exception, guys, we have to create a class as a child of, tell me,
Parent class.
Exception class.
Exception class.
yes, java.lang.exception. and this way exception मध्ये जेवढ्या प्रॉपर्टीज आहेत, सी आता एक्सेप्शनच त्याचा पॅरेंट बनला, मीन्स व्हॉट, हा पण एक्सेप्शनच बनला ना बाय डिफॉल्ट. and here we are overriding couple of things, but inside this constructor we are passing our own message. Exception करतो काय? Exception will arises and it will give us the message. Same thing we are doing by creating our own exception here, right? So simple. The purpose of throw keyword is what? The purpose of throw keyword is what? To explicitly throw an exception. इथं काय केलेलं आपण? The purpose of throw keyword is to explicitly throw an exception, guys. And when the throw is executed, the normal throw of the program is interrupted. Sometimes we get a requirement, guys. Let's say if user is entering the wrong ATM pin, then that time, let's say we get an exception, we get a requirement to throw the exception, guys. So in real time scenarios as well, inside our code, guys, you will see that. Inside our code also you will guys see that inside our project code, sometimes we get a requirement. If somebody enters the wrong number, if somebody enters the wrong information, in that case we need to throw the exception, guys. And this exception, for example, हा मेसेज जर तुम्हाला इथं नाही द्यायचा, इथं let's say I am copying this, I am commenting this, and इथनं पण constructor मधनं suppose मी इथं काय केलं, I am passing this message, and here why it is giving me the error. Okay, it is letting telling me to create the constructor. Okay, let me just save it, let me just execute it, and let me check कि होता है execute. Okay, must be caught. We got an exception, guys. Actually, exception आलेला आहे. Sorry, इथं exception try catch मध्ये handle करायला लागेल. Otherwise, इथे जावा, हे करा. Method will throw an exception. Execute the code. Now I will tell you about throws keyword, guys. Don't worry at all. हे पाहून असं हे नका समजू की difficult आहे वगैरे. Just see, we got an exception, guys. Change not available exception. पण हा मेसेज इथं नाही गेलेला. मग आपला आधीच राहू द्या. Will not make it complex because I want to tell you the complex things in easiest way. आणि कुठे जरी गेलात ना तुम्ही, किती जरी रीड केलं तर दिस इज ओनली द वे टू क्रिएट युअर ओन एक्सेप्शन इन जावा. कसं क्रिएट करतात, आपण एक क्लास क्रिएट करायचा आणि त्याचा पॅरेंट हा पाहिजे एक्सेप्शन. दिस इज ओनली द वे टू क्रिएट द एक्सेप्शन, युअर ओन एक्सेप्शन इन जावा, नथिंग एल्स. ठीक आहे. आणि आपण काय पाहत होतो, हां, वी आर डिस्कसिंग अबाउट थ्रोज कीवर्ड. थ्रोज कीवर्ड काय असतो, फॉर एक्झाम्पल हे बघा, मी जर मेथडला इथं this line might throw an exception, this is checked exception, correct, compile time exception. तर आपल्याकडे दोन वे आहेत. एक तर काय आहे, ट्राय कॅच लिहायचा, हँडल करायचा, पूर्ण एक्सेप्शन हँडल करायचा and go ahead. Second thing, we just need to suppress, we can just suppress this compile time error by writing throws exception here. Means what, आपल्याला माहिती आहे, थ्रोज पाहून लगेच त्यांना पण कळणार आहे की दिस मेथड might throw an exception which we are just suppressing here by declaring a method with throws keyword. Okay, it is just like crying a baby and giving him a chocolate to make him stop crying. It is just like that, nothing else. तो काय हँडल वगैरे करणार आहे का एक्सेप्शन थ्रोज कीवर्ड? थ्रोज कीवर्ड is not going to handle your exception, guys. Throws keyword still will come to know that स्टील थ्रोज कीवर्ड मुळे तरी पण आपल्याला समजणार आहे की ही मेथड माइट थ्रो एन एक्सेप्शन. फक्त कंपाइल टाइमला कोणता इश्यू नाही येणार आहे. ॲट रन टाइम इफ रिअली वी गॉट एन एक्सेप्शन, गाइज, विल फेस एन इश्यू. आर यू गाइज गेटिंग दिस एवरीवन? समजतंय? शिवदर्शन, ऋतुजा, रौनक, आर यू गाइज गेटिंग इट?
Yes, sir.
Simple actually. There are 5 things that always you need to take care. You need to learn. इथे पण मी suppress करतोय. There are 2 ways. Either you need to handle or suppress. I'm just suppressing it. Okay. Anyway, you can write your code as per your requirement. You need to modify your code. Okay. हे असंच बरोबर आहे, तसंच बरोबर आहे, असं पण काही नसतं. जेव्हा तुमची जशी जशी रिक्वायरमेंट आहे तसं तसं कोड लिहित चला. And that's it. Okay. Nothing else. So there are 5 things you need to always take care, guys. You need to learn while learning about this. Try, you need to learn. Try मध्ये काय करतो आपण? We always keep the suspicious code in try block, the code which might throw an exception. Inside catch block, what happens? Try मध्ये जर exception आलं तर catch block execute होतो. Catch block execute होतो का exception नाही आलं तर? Tell me. नाही होत. ठीक आहे. तर catch block एकापेक्षा जास्त लिहू शकतो आपण? Yes, लिहू शकतो. But in the last you must have a parent catch block, right? So एक असतो फायनली ब्लॉक. आता कसं आहे हे बघा, ट्राय मध्ये जर एक्सेप्शन आलं तरच कॅच एक्झिक्यूट होतो, बरोबर? आणि हे बघा ना, मग फायनली असा ब्लॉक आहे, एक्सेप्शन येऊ द्या नाहीतर नाही येऊ द्या, फायनली विल ऑलवेज एक्झिक्यूट. थ्रोचा यूज काय आहे? बाय युजिंग थ्रो कीवर्ड, गाइज, यू कॅन थ्रो द एक्सेप्शन. सो समटाइम्स यू माइट गेट अ रिक्वायरमेंट, आपण एक्सप्लिसिटली वी हॅव टू एक्सप्लिसिटली थ्रो अन एक्सेप्शन. जसं की काही येऊ द्या, पासवर्ड इनव्हॅलिड एक्सेप्शन, ओके, input mismatch exception, invalid user input exception. So sometimes we get a requirement to throw an exception, and inside our project code you guys will see this. Okay, and throws will not handle the exception, but it will just suppress the compile time exception. It will suppress the compile time exception, guys, and it will have to declare the method with throws keyword. So throw चा एवढा काही significance नाही आहे, but this throw is important. Throw means simply, guys, this throw is going to throw an exception anywhere. This is the syntax. Throw new exception, and you guys can easily throw an exception. Are you guys getting this? Throw exception, and you guys can throw an exception, guys. If somebody is entering the wrong input, you have to throw an exception. If somebody is entering the wrong input or username, password, ATM pin, or in many cases, guys, if you will get a requirement, if you have a requirement to throw your own exception or the predefined exception. Predefined exception कोणते होते? For example, your arithmetic exception was the predefined. Predefined म्हणजे काय? ज्यांनी जावा JDK डेव्हलप केलं त्या लोकांनी लिहिलंय. This is the user defined means what? हे आपण क्रिएट केलेलं एक्सेप्शन आहे. So like this we can create an exception by giving any name. बरोबर? Bus not available exception. लिहू शकतो आपण, बनवू शकतो exception. Tell me. Can we create bus not available exception? Can we create?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can we create? See, means literally you can create any kind of exception, guys. You can work with a real-time object. You can create an exception which looks like a real-time issue. Okay, and you can get your work done. So that's the power of Java's exception handling. आणि खूप सारा आहे actually, but whatever is required, okay, concept-wise, whatever is required for us, guys, that much we have discussed, right? And if you know, as a Java developer, these 5 things, in fact, even if you'll get a job as a Java developer, you guys will be working with these things only, nothing else. And काही advanced concept doesn't try with resource and all, okay, blah blah blah. That, okay, once a year you might get chance to work on. Okay, but see, as a beginner or to work on project, these things are enough. So is there any doubt, anybody, guys, with these 5 things and create an exception? Is there any doubt, guys, in any of these things? Anybody? Tell me. Everyone,
sir.
please respond. Everybody,
No.
please respond. Sharwari, Mandar, Parth.
No, sir.
Okay, I'm stopping my recording here. Okay, I'm stopping my recording. Today I'm running out of time, guys.